welcome everyone to Facts at 5. We are back again. This is Michael Clark over at the LTV Media Center in Wayne Scott, New York, joined by my co-host. I haven't said that in a while, Morgan Vaughan. Welcome, Morgan.
Hi, Mike. Nice to see you from down the hall.
Yes. So, we started the Facts at 5 at the beginning of the pandemic, and we cut it off when we saw things starting to go down. And at that time, we even spoke about the fact that, hey, we'll probably see you back around Christmas time because that's what science said. And guess what? They were right. And we've hit a real big surge here, and doesn't look like there's any downturn in that in the immediate future. Not to be pessimistic about it, but that's the reality. And so what we're going to do is we're going to be joining you folks again and reporting out on what's happening locally. We've been in touch with Peter Van Scoyak over at the town, and he's going to be providing us with some information that we can put out for you on a daily or almost daily basis. And here we're back in the saddle again. What can we say, right, Morgan?
Right. And please contact us with questions that you have for anybody or suggestions about things we could cover, because that would be really helpful. And that should be at info@ltveh.org.
So let's get right to it. The first thing comes from our good friend, Christy Sampson over at the East Hampton Star. And she wrote that Dr. Anthony Fauci, director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, joined Governor Andrew Cuomo for a press conference on Monday, in which the governor outlined more steps New York is taking in the fight against COVID-19. So Governor Cuomo said he is closely watching hospital capacity because it is the primary vehicle of defense until the COVID-19 vaccines can be widely administered. He said he and his cabinet are looking at data on regional hospitalizations and capacity every single day. Whether or not a region can have indoor dining is now tied to hospital capacity, which will be or can be reduced from 50% to 25% or even zero if the hospitalizations around the state in a particular region spike or does not level out within 5 days. That's pretty big. That's a change. Hospitalization rates could impact indoor dining and, believe it or not gyms and personal care businesses, because the evidence shows that the latter two were not where COVID-19 is spreading. Rather, what Cuomo said, that what he's calling a living room spread, small gatherings among family members and friends, particularly where travel is involved or people coming in, and that are now accounts for about 70% of new COVID-19 cases. And he said, if our hospital capacity becomes critical, we're going to close down that region, period. He said, defining critical hospital capacity as 90%. To overwhelm the hospital system means people die on a gurney in the hallways, he said. And earlier that day in his remarks, he compared the field hospitals the state had set up in the spring when we first started to that of kind of like what's happening in the Army or military combat situation, and said there was the potential, Morgan, of full potential to do it again if the virus is not brought under control very soon.
Right. Well, I think that one of the things that everybody needs to be reminded of when we talk about this virus is that the death rate isn't outrageous in terms of the virus itself, as we know, but it was never about that.
Right.
And it was always about the hospital capacity from the beginning. So when you hear people say that it's the flu or blah, 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 maybe it's not the flu, but maybe there is a little bit of a similarity, but it was never about that, ever, ever, ever. It was about everybody getting sick at once. And that's the thing that we're worried about, especially out here, is that we have a small hospital. Right now, the statistics for today say that we're at about, for Southampton Hospital, I think, or actually Suffolk County, we have about 23% left available of hospital beds and about 25% in the ICU. Now that was for, I think, Monday or Sunday. And one of the things to be aware of is that we have not yet seen the post-Thanksgiving bump, which we're hoping not to see, but we really think we're going to see, because people are very tired, and everybody understands this, of social distancing, of wearing masks, of doing everything. And we wanted to have a nice Thanksgiving. And many of us didn't. Many of us, like I know you did, and like I did. I was home with my husband and I made a turkey, but that was it. Otherwise, it was a very normal day, because we want to keep these hospitalizations low. And that's what it's always been about. And that's what the issue is. And that's what still I think people aren't understanding. They're thinking that, oh, well, the death rate isn't very bad. It's not what it's about. Anyway, so that goes with what Fauci was saying. And hopefully we will not see these rates go up.
Yeah, I thought that, the discussion that he had with Dr. Fauci was really good. And I've always been a fan, some people weren't, of Dr. Fauci, but he's kind of been right. And but Dr. Fauci felt that Governor Cuomo had a very sound plan, and he felt that you were talking about when we might feel the impact of Thanksgiving probably wouldn't be until mid-January. And his quote was, "Without substantial mitigation, the middle of January can be a really dark time for us." So, and Cuomo went on to say, even with the vaccines on the horizon, recent surveys have shown that nearly half the population isn't yet even willing to take the vaccine.
Right.
So, there's all that goes along.
Well, I'll be first in line. I don't know about any of you guys out there and you, Michael, but I had an emergency procedure 2 summers ago. And the hospital, that was 2 summers ago, way pre-COVID. And I was unable to get a room. The hospital was packed.
Right.
It was so scary. And the idea that it could be even more scary than that, and everybody's sick, and all these greater precautions that doctors and nurses have to take scares me to death. So I will be one of the first people. I'm happy to get the vaccine. I don't want to be in the hospital. And remember, it's not just about having COVID. It's about being in a car accident. It's about cutting your finger when you're slicing a bagel, falling down the stairs, having a stroke, having a heart attack. Those are all the things that make you could potentially end up in the hospital in a situation that you do not want to be on a gurney in a room where you're forgotten about.
Yeah, and Fauci said that you need about 75 to 80% of the people vaccinated to even start to have that umbrella protection over the entire community. And he went on to talk about the frontline workers who, of course, will be getting the vaccine first. But according to the state, 6.2% of the test results reported yesterday in Suffolk County, 748 people were positive for COVID-19, right? It was the 5th day in a row that the county's positive test rate was 6% or higher, according to state data. And the county's 7-day average of positive COVID-19 tests had reached 6.1%. So, although there's a slight downturn.
But when we stopped, it was that when we stopped doing Facts of 5, it was because we had reached that magical number where we were less than 1% rate. Wasn't it less than 1%?
Yeah, it was very low.
And since I'm updating the crawl every day with the statistics, I'm seeing a week ago it was 4.5%. Yesterday it was 6.1%. It is going up. I'm watching it every day happen. So it's an amazing number considering where we were in June when we were like, okay, we're gonna, wait it out.
Right.
When we stopped, which was that we couldn't even reopen until we were at 1%.
Right. They're trying. Everybody's trying everything they can and trying new and different things. Well, for example, the Bridgehampton School yesterday has quarantined one of its 2 6th grade classes for 14 days. 14 out of the 18 students that make up the whole 6th grade, after the administration learned a student in that grade had tested positive for COVID-19. 10 staff members are also quarantined, according to an announcement from the school district on Sunday. And not only are those 14 students on remote learning through December 18th, but also the secondary school population in grades 7 through 12, I think, are back on remote learning, not in quarantine, because the 10 adults who are in quarantine are involved in the teaching of the multiple grades and subjects. So they can't find any substitutes to fill in, and children in the kindergarten through the 5th grade are attending their classes in person as usual right now. But on it goes.
Yeah, it is really, this is actually brings me to a point of something we're doing here at LTV, which is that we are, along with Patrice Jacobson, I have been working on getting as many children's shows out there as we can possibly get. We have a bunch of reading shows that are non-commercial. So we can put them on, we can put them on the web. And so you can actually have librarians from the East Hampton Library read books for kids. And it's really as young as 2 to 8. And I try to put the age range in it. And that's on our YouTube channel. We'll also be showing it on channel 20 if you're in East Hampton. You can always go to our YouTube channel or VOD. And we're also doing just some audiobooks for older children as well. Just hoping to offer people something that is non-commercial, that they can have their kids be a part of something. And there's also some great offerings out there from the Amagansett Library. My friend Evan Harris does a wonderful show for little kids on Fridays. And the East Hampton Library does some great things too. So there are resources out there for these parents who now have, once again, their kids stuck in the house.
And
God love them.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. And it's developing more and more and more. The ingenuity is incredible in terms of what people are pushing out, and they put into this corner and say, okay, what can I do? What do I create? How can I make a difference? And the kids have been amazingly resilient, I think, the ones that I've seen. But they're being pulled back and forth and whatever. And it's it's a trying time, and it's going to be what it's going to be. So did you have any charts or anything?
I have all these things from the East Hampton Star. So the one that we talked about this morning, well, this shows you that we are in, for sure, we are in the second wave.
Right.
This is, so November, basically, okay, we're all good. We're down around that 1% part that we were talking about. And now here we are up at 6.1% on December 1st. And this is the Thanksgiving little place that we're not sure. So we don't know what's going to happen off screen, like as we go up this way. And this is for Suffolk County. These are great. These are from the East Hampton Star, by the way. Okay, so the other thing that we talked about was where to find resources. And we found that the East Hampton Town website is very, very, very good. And it has a lot of information, especially about testing sites. And it has a weird website, in my opinion. It is ehamptonny.gov. So I just wanted to give everyone an idea of how much information there is out there. And you can go to the town website and check that out. Again, that's ehamptonny.gov, and I'll put that up as well.
Yeah, they've been doing a great job with that. And Morgan, we've run out of time. So until tomorrow.
Well, I'll see you in a minute.
We could be the 24-hour channel and just sit here and speculate about what might happen for the 24 and a half hours like they do on CNN and Fox and everything else.
I don't want to do that.
No, we don't want to do that. We want to give 15 minutes of facts, and those are the facts, Jack. That's what we got. So that's what we have for today. We'll be back tomorrow. So everybody have a nice, safe, and wear your mask. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.